Miami Vice, Blade Runner, Battlestar Galactica. Thanks, sir. Let's bring him up and you guys can ask him questions. The old man himself, Mr. Edward James Olmos.
Wow. Hello, Kansas. All I can say is it's an honor and a privilege to be here. I've been in Kansas before, but never in this way, in this manner, and this is fantastic. This is a very, very heartfelt Comicon, let me tell you. People that I've met here have been extraordinary, and I've been very grateful and thankful for being invited. And it's an honor and a privilege to be here, and a lot of the people I've seen already. People that you're welcome. And what we're going to do is, I don't know if you want to do the question answer. We should let you guys ask the questions, and we'll do the answer. And that way we don't sit up here and just me and him have a good time. So who would like to ask? Go ahead, man.
Okay, what we'll do, we've got a microphone here, so we'll just go ahead and start off a line.
Yeah, just jump on up here, man. Just do it, guys. Let's just start having fun for an hour at least. And if you guys want to, we'll go longer.
That's good.
Go ahead, sir.
I just want to say two of my favorite characters you played were actually based on real people. One was Selena's father, Selena.
Abraham.
And the other one was Jaime Escalante, who passed away almost 2 years ago to the day exactly. And did you ever meet Jaime Escalante, or did you know?
Yeah, I was very fortunate. Yes, I did. For those of you, I don't know, how many of you saw Stand and Deliver? For those of you that have not seen that film, it's just been inducted this, I think in January. It was inducted into the, God bless you, the National Film Registry. And what that means is that it's become part of the national treasure of the country. And it's cultural, incredible honor for the picture itself. And yes, I did meet Jaime. I had the privilege of working with him for almost a year before I did the movie, which really helped me out a lot. And then throughout the movie, him and I actually rewrote the script. The original script was written, and then him and I sat down, and I said, "What do you think?" He says, "It sounds like a movie." I go, "Okay, but it's true." He goes, "Oh yeah, there's a lot of truth in it, but it didn't happen this way." I said, "Oh, it didn't." Okay, how did it happen? Well, you know, I mean, this is what happened. Then he started to tell me the story, and I started to write what he was telling me. And lo and behold, what you saw is what he told me, and from page one. And if you know, copying somebody, imitating somebody is the highest form of flattery, then that's what I did. I flattered him the most that I've ever flattered anybody, because basically I copied him to the hilt. It was, you know, I do a lot of my own work, as you've seen. I have total artistic control of my characters. I've had them since 1978 when I did Zoot Suit, and I did El Pachuco. And that was a character that changed the course of American theater. And from that moment on, I got artistic control of my characters, and I've been able to do Blade Runner, and that's the reason Blade Runner turned out the way it did. My character is not the whole movie. But basically, it's been a wonderful experience. And with Jaime, it was just amazing, because he really gave me an awful lot. And I was with him all the way through his death. And then we memorialized him and took him to his resting place.
Well, I saw that movie in 9th grade in Spanish class, and I was like 14 at the time, in 91, and I loved it ever since I've seen it. It's one of my favorite movies.
Thank
Still
you.
today.
Bless your heart. Thank you so much.
Now, speaking of your character in Blade Runner, I'm going to ask, because I'm pulling rank here, are we going to see Gav in the next Blade Runner? Has anyone talked to you about that?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't
We
think
want to see Gav in the next Blade Runner? What do you think he's been doing these past 30 years?
You know, what has Gav been doing? Chasing replicants. He caught Decker. Ooh. Yeah, he offed Decker. It's over for him. He's never coming back. No. Basically, no, I think that what really will do, if he does this, if he really does this, which, you know, there's a lot of times that we wish that things would happen, and they say that they're going to happen, but they just can't because of one reason or another. But basically, I think that this, because it's Ridley, will probably take form. And when it does, I think it's going to be in that understanding of, you know, technology and human beings. But I think it's going to be different. I don't think it's going to be like a continuation or the same world. That was 37 years ago, 32 years ago.
So it'll have the DNA of Blade Runner.
Yeah, well, because of Ridley, oh my God, he doesn't need much excuse to just like vamp on anything. So he'll be able to create whatever he creates will be masterful and a total blessing for us who enjoy that world. Before Blade Runner, before Battlestar, no one touched the world, that aesthetic, that truth that Blade Runner hit. And that's one of the reasons why so many of us have enjoyed it for so many years. And people who have never seen it before, you know, and then all of a sudden you introduce them to them, they think it's like a brand new movie. You know, they think, whoa, this is really, really incredible. Yeah, it is. The story's incredible, but the people, the characters that are inside of the story itself are incredible. And that's when I talked to Ron Moore and David Icke, when they asked me if I would partake in the Battlestar, I said that the only way I can honestly do it, two things. One is that the world that Ridley opened in Blade Runner, I want to go into that world. I want it to be that kind of an understanding where that everything was real. It was factual, and the characters were us. Maybe not in 2020 or 2019 because we're almost there now. We're only 7 years away, and I don't think we'll have spinners yet. And I don't, you know, but the Asian influence is definitely going to dominate. I think that probably China will probably crack open within the next 5 years, and there'll be the Asian influx throughout the planet will just explode. And they are 1 out of every 5 people on the planet are Chinese. So we have a tremendous explosion that's going to happen to all of us. And I hope you guys are all ready for the cultural diversity. And not take it as an affront, but actually a positive upward swing. But I think that basically he will take it, he's going to take us to the full extent. And I think that we'll end up going into a world that we'll really appreciate and enjoy all the way around. Yes, go.
Well, I'm one of your biggest fans. I'm so happy to be here to see you today. I have a comment and then a question. My comment is, I was a big Battlestar Galactica fan of the original series on TV, and so I resisted watching the new one. But I had just 3 episodes away from the finale, and I just love it. Don't anybody give it away. Come on.
Yeah. I envy you.
Oh, it's so exciting. I saved the last 3 until I met you. But my question to you is, I loved your character on Miami Vice, and it was such a wonderful character. There was never anything on your desk. Was this your plan, or was this the props people that said, Marty, you can't have anything on your desk?
Can you imagine somebody saying that? You cannot have anything on your desk. No, I came in, when I came in the first day I came in, there's some great stories on Miami Vice. Any of you see Miami Vice? How many have never seen Miami Vice, I should say? Okay. It's an interesting, very interesting phenomenon that happened in the 80s. And it really became a real world event where the entire planet, most of us that saw it would stop, whatever it was we were doing on the Friday night that it was aired, and would stop for that hour and no matter where you were, and you'd say, okay, and you could be in a bar, you could be in a dance hall, you could be at ridiculously different kind of places, and they'd stop and say, excuse me, do you have a television? You know, it's Miami Vice time. And it was crazy. But when we, that program, okay, especially that character, that was another, the only way I could take that program, believe me, when I heard Edward James Olmos in Miami Vice, when it was as weird as when you heard that Edward James Olmos was going to be in Battlestar. You know, people that follow my career. Those that have been following my career know what kind of an aesthetic I have and what kind of films I make. I make Stand and Deliver. Okay, I make The Ballad of Gregorio Cortez. I make Zoot Suit, you know. I make, you know, blank. But, you know, I don't do, I was offered, and I don't say this to be condescending or hype myself. There's certain passions that I need to have in order for me to be able to understand and move forward. Because I'm not a good actor. You know? Trust me, acting is very, very difficult. If I believe passionately in the story, I can do it. I think anybody could do it. That's the key to this whole existence that we live in. If you have passion for whatever it is that you're touching or that you're getting into, you'll do it honestly, with all your heart, and you'll do it with all your heart and passion. And that's what I got. And when they offered me Miami Vice, I said to them, I cannot do it unless I have creative control of my character. I have a non-exclusive contract, you know? And you know, I know that ABC, was then, or yeah, it was NBC at that time, NBC, Universal, just television in general, do not allow you to have a non-exclusive contract. That's crazy. You're going to be doing our show, we own you for at least 7 years. Even if we only use you for 5 or 3 or 4, you're going to sign a 7-year contract. And, you know, everybody goes, oh, that's okay. Until you realize that, you know, when you're doing 24 hours of television in 1 year, that's what we used to do, 24 episodes. That's like, you know, 10 months of work. So you have maybe 2 months, maybe 8 weeks of being able to say or do something outside of that job. Nothing wrong with that, except I wasn't here to do Miami Vice. Okay, I was here to do the kind of work that I needed to do, and I still do that kind of work, and it's very difficult to do. Walkout. How many of you saw Walkout? See, like 2 of you. That's what I mean. Really, literally, you should see that movie. I mean, that was a movie I directed and helped produce, and it came out, it was on HBO, and then went into theaters, and it was really a tremendously different kind of movie, but most of you guys won't see it. And I think that most of you guys saw Stand and Deliver in school. Your teachers showed it to you. You wouldn't have taken the time to go see it, you know, what, Stand and what, maybe forget it, you know. This is the year 2000, man. You know. But in essence, what I'm saying is that they gave me creative control of my character. That's why Castillo turned out the way it did. Do you think somebody would have written that thing that way?
I loved it. Great job.
I thank you 1,000
Thank
times
you.
over. 1,000 times over. I cleared the desk. I walked in and they had stuff all over the desk. And I said, what is this? There was books, there was all kinds of, there was pipes, you know. I had like 10 pipes and this pipe holder and all kinds of stuff all over the desk. And, it was decorated really, really incredible. I said, wow, whoever this belongs to, pretty intense, you know? I said, but I'm coming into the story. I walk into the story holding a potted plant in a box, which I asked for. I walk in, that's how Lieutenant Castillo came into the scene. He walks into the OCB, and he walks in and he looks around, and you know, everybody looks at him because he's dressed in a black suit, black tie, white shirt, and he's not wearing Armani. You know, he's the only one in the room that's not wearing fancy clothes. And so I walked in and I said to them, I said, I'm going to walk in and you're going to see me walk in, and then the first time you see me in my office, I'm going to have all this? I don't think so. I said, clear everything. I said, clear the whole damn room. And they said, clear everything? I said, clear everything. And it's just like the costume designer, when she heard me, I got on the phone with her. And it was all done very quickly. I got the job like at 5:30, 6 o'clock at night on Wednesday, and on Thursday morning at 7:30 I was in front of the camera doing the show. actually performing in the character. So that's really dangerous. It's really unpreparedness runs amok, and I was really nervous and scared. So I was really overwhelmingly, disciplined in deciding what to do. And I told them, when they said, "Oh, well, we have to know your sizes for your clothes," I said, "Okay," and I gave them a size, and I said, "I want a black suit, wash and wear, the cheapest one you can find." And they said, "Well, no, we have a style. This has been, because they did that. It was incredible style that they had on the show." And I said, I know you do. I know you have a style, and I don't know it, but I know you've got a style. I know you have a whole color thing that's happening and everything. I saw some of the episodes. And I said, but for me, just get me a black suit and wash it in a washing machine. And then take it out and hang it. And it's got to be ready by tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock when I go to work. So just get it out. Do not press it. Just let it hang there and hang it. And she says, I don't know if I can do this. So just ask Michael Mann. He'll verify that it's okay to do this. And so, of course, when I got there, I had wrestling shoes, the same ones I wore on Battlestar Galactica for years and years and years. For 5 years, I wore them and then Hogan saw me when Hogan was getting dressed. He says, "Whose shoes are those?" He says, "That's Adamas." He goes, "I want those kind." Because they were so comfortable. We were always standing up, and they're the most comfortable shoes in the world. And you can run, you can do all kinds of different stuff. And so they're actually wrestling shoes. And so I first wore them on Miami Vice. And I said, "Give me my wrestling shoes, and I want a suit, I want a small thin tie, and you can color, and you can use any shirt you want to, but it's got to be a wash and wear shirt, and wash it. Do not put anything new and do not iron it." And so that was the mandate. And from that day on, I never changed my wardrobe. I wore the same wardrobe from that moment on. And if you went to Castillo's room, in his closet, you would have seen nothing but maybe 10 of those kind of suits. And then 6 pairs of those kind of shoes. But all the same kind of things. So it was like a priest. He was a Jesuit priest who was a ninja samurai warrior. So that's what he was. That's how he designed it. And the guy just said, "What the hell is this?" I said, "Yeah, I'm ninja. Ninjas are like the cockroaches of karate and martial arts. And then the samurai is the most distinguished. They honor the emperor. They're like the royal guards and the Mounties of Canada. They're like very, very distinguished samurai. So a samurai that was actually ninja. Wow, that's a weird thing. That was, made at the Jesuit priesthood. So that's who it was. And I never smiled. I smiled once, really lightly, at the coffee stand in one scene in the entire 5 years I did that damn show. I never smiled. And people came up to me and they said to me, "Hey, do you ever smile?" I said, "Yeah. Every time I go to the bank." Pásale, por favor. Go for it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I speak English, a little Spanish, not much.
Not much. You need to.
Anyway, I want to know where you got your charisma from, your backing, what's your favorite food, Mexican food?
Gosh, I'll tell you, where I get my backing. It has to come from my great-grandmother. I was raised by my great-grandmother, and may she rest in peace, and then my grandmother. But very few of us get to be raised by our great-grandparent. It's a whole different world when you get raised by that kind of wisdom. It is different. I mean, I got to tell you, I'm 65 years old. I want to be a great-grandparent. I'm already a grandparent, so I'm just trying to stick around now. My oldest grandchild is 8 years old. So I'm at least willing, and then 20 years before she decides to have one, whatever it comes. Because I remember what happened, and I remember what went on with me and what my life was like. And it started with her, and then it goes on to my mother, and then it goes on to my dad, the male side of my family. But I got a real real jolt of my woman's side, right from the beginning, and it really does make a difference.
You have so, you're so gentle, but more gentleness.
Thank you.
Your favorite food?
My favorite food, oh my God, Japanese food.
No.
And Mexican food, my favorite Mexican food, my God. Would have to be frijoles de la olla. Just really just plain beans with the soup, not refried,
Yeah.
with onions, and cilantro, and tortillas, guacamole, chile.
Thank
But the beans, I like beans. It's the best way to get your protein. There's no better way. Hello, darling. Miami Vice T-shirt. I like
Yes, we just met a little bit earlier, and I enjoyed it very much. And it's very interesting hearing how you created the Castillo character. And of course, as you said, you mentioned that you have influence with all your characters. But when you did Galactica, this was a character that had been originally, even though in a different treatment, portrayed by another iconic actor, Lauren Green. Did you find that daunting, or did that influence you at all, or kind of?
You know, it was a reimagining of the entire show, so I really didn't lock into anybody's characterizations in that show. It was like it was going to be. I went back and I watched Blade Runner to make sure that I remembered well. If you put in at the end of Battlestar, the final scenes, which some people in here have not seen it yet, but in the final scenes, you know what happens. And when it stops, when Battlestar goes to black and the movie's over, just pick up Blade Runner and stick it in. That's the continuing story. Matter of fact, even my Adama's direct descendant, 200,000 years later, is Gap. Even looks like him.